Good morning, boys and girls. Mrs. Basler's here. I bet you can just tell where I am, one of my favorite places. And you probably hear a lot of nature around me. If you listen, you will hear the birds chirping. And if you watched one of the videos last week of the birdhouse I was showing you that the mom and dad were so busy in, you might hear them chirping because guess what happened over the weekend? Their eggs, their babies hatched, and now you might hear the babies crying and the mom's going and dad going in and out feeding it. So I'm hoping in another couple of days when they get stronger, I'll be able to film part 2 of that birdhouse. But today, I brought a book along because we're talking about flowers this week. Our spring and our summer coming are a lot of times that people will be working on their gardens. So my book today is called Planting a Rainbow. And if you notice all those flowers, what do they have in common? They're the same color, but they don't look the same. They have different stems and different leaves and different petals. So let's see about this planting a rainbow. Every year, Mom and I plant a rainbow. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. So sometimes to get those pretty flowers, you have to plant them in a different season. And you have to dig a hole down, put them in the dirt, cover that up. And then up here, what they did was they used popsicle sticks painted in different colors, and they wrote the name so that when everything starts growing in little sprouts, remember they come up little, and uncurl, they're all green, they might not remember which one is which. So that was a pretty good idea, put names on them. We order seeds from catalogs, and we wait all winter long. So now the other way you can plant flowers is by buying these little envelopes of seeds, which are very, very tiny. But these are the pictures of the seeds, what the flowers will look like. So they're not a big bulb, but they're teeny tiny little seeds. So they ordered them out of a catalog. We wait for spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. Now, if you look at what's going on with the bulb underground, there's 2 things going on. Do you see roots coming down into the dirt? Remember, those roots are like little straws that suck up the nutrients from the dirt and the water. And then you're going to see the sprouts all coming up little. Some of them are coming up bent over. Some of them come up little and pointy. And then soon they'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. This one wiggled up into daffodil. So those bulbs need a little bit of time underground. Then it's time to go to the garden center and select some seedlings. Now, a seedling is a plant that could already be started for you. And you can get them at the garden center. They come in little flower pots. I'll show you those later too. But if you don't have room at home to start a seed inside, they get it as a seedling and a little sprout. And then you can buy whatever ones you want. This is the wagon at the garden center. I'm sure you've seen that. If you pick more than one thing, you don't have to all carry it in your hand. You could put it in a wagon. We sow the seeds and set the plants in the soil. So now they go out to their garden. And it's that time of the year when the soil is warm, like right now, when the weather's warming up. And you can put those seeds in the ground. You could put the seedlings in the ground. And again, they made names for themselves. And then everything will start growing little by little. And watch the rainbow grow. Now you can see those seedlings start to get bigger. You might see some colors coming on them. If they have some green plants like ferns, then it'll be green. But you'll see that blue and purple and red and yellow come. And they grow and grow. So look. And I've got some that are already this tall. I am going to walk you around and show you how they grow from the little itty bitty all the way up. But let's take a look at their rainbow. we have some red flowers. And you see the rainbow? That's everything they put in the ground. All their colors. And orange. And yellow. And a green fern. Blue. Purple. All summer long, we pick them and bring them home. So if they grow them in their garden and they're really, really tall, they want to cut some flowers to maybe put on the table, they can cut them, bring them in and put them in a vase of water. Maybe they want to tie them the bow and maybe take them to grandmama or an aunt and an uncle or maybe a neighbor and just surprise them and say, here's some flowers from our rainbow garden just for you. So that is planting a rainbow. Now I'm going to put my book down and back up a little bit because I'm going to move my camera right over here, nice and slow. And I'm going to show you the rainbow that I'm going to add to my garden. And you're going to see I have lots of colors, but they talked about how they came up little as a little sprout. And then it kept growing bigger and bigger. And then they get the little flower right on the top. So this one is a yellow tulip. Now you know that I like pink and red, so I had to get another red one for my garden. And again, it grew up out of a stem, out of a sprout, and it got bigger and bigger. And you're going to see that little bulb right there. And it's going to turn into a little tulip. So I'm going to find a place in my garden for that. I have some more yellow ones, but then this is what I want to show you. This flower grows in a real tall stem, probably up to your knees or maybe your waist. And on each one, it has all these flowers at the top. They're called gladiolas. They're another favorite flower of mine. But in this pack, I was able to get a variety. Some of these will be red, and some of them will be purple, and some of them will be white. But I wanted to show you what a bulb looks like. It's not a tiny little seed, but it's actually like a little round bulb, looking like a walnut or a nut. It's got roots on the bottom, and this part right there is that new plant that's gonna grow. So I could put these in right next to each other. Here's another one. Here's another one, but you know what? I just don't know which are red and which are yellow. Let me see if I have another one started here to show you, because some of them haven't started yet. Oh, here's another one. There's the roots on the bottom. Do you see the roots? And then there's that plant. So I'm going to be digging a hole. I'm going to be putting this in, covering it up, maybe move over here, dig a hole, put it in, cover it up. And bulbs have to be down, like maybe 6 inches under the ground. So I have to dig a hole because they can stay in now. Once I put them in the ground, they can stay in forever and ever and ever. And they'll come back next year. So when they're done blooming and they're done looking like that, and you know how flowers kind of go brown or they fall off and they're done, this will stay in the ground. And it'll grow again next year and the next year. So these are flowers, once you find a place for them and you put them in the ground, you've got them for a long time. So I have one more to show you. And this is actually, you'd like this one if you had it in your yard. This is a canis bulb, a canis flower, and it actually can get as tall as me. So it would definitely be as tall as you or taller. But this is the long root that I have to find a place to put it in the ground now so it can start growing so that by summer it's going to get tall. And then it has a big tropical flower on it. They come in red, they come in orange, they come in yellow. But now you'll see there's the root, but right there and right there is the new plant that's going to start. So I'm going to be putting this in the ground so all of this is facing down. This will be in the top, and I'll put the dirt on top of it, and it'll just start growing and growing. So those are what bulbs look like. Now, I thought maybe you would like to walk around. If I take the camera so that we don't get a little dizzy, I thought I would take you around and I'll show you some of those big bearded irises. So here's the iris. I don't think we got to look at that. Did we get to look at this bearded iris? How it opens up? And it grows very tall and it stays very tight, and then it's going to open up. But I have some that are already blooming and they're pretty tall, so I thought you'd like to take a look at it, as well as maybe take a couple look at other flowers on our way around. So if we look right here, this is called an azalea bush. So you will see the little pink flowers starting to grow. There's lots of little ones, and then they'll start opening as they get a little bit stronger. Here's some right in here that are starting to open. So we're pretty lucky, boys and girls. We live in an area that has a variety of flowers to grow, and the temperature always keeps them pretty good if we just have to watch those cold nights like we just had. But here's another one I want to show you. It starts on the ground, and it climbs, and it weaves. And look what it does. It hooks itself on so it can grow taller. It just wraps right around and it keeps going and going and going. And these right here are going to be the little flowers on them. So we have several flowers like that in the area that grow. Maybe Mom has some. Some are called morning glories. Some are called clematis. And they love to climb and they hold on. And then they get their blooms. They look beautiful. So I hope you're not getting too dizzy with me walking. I'm almost around to the other side of my house, but I'm going to show you how those bearded irises just grow tall. So I have some here. They're not bloomed here. We'll keep walking around. But here's one. You'll see how it goes in the bottom. It comes up like a stalk. And these are the buds. They're going to get ready to open, but they're not quite ready. So if you look over this flower bed and you see any that have, now this is going to be a yellow one. You'll see they're wrapped really, really tight, almost like they have gloves on. And then they're going to open. Now when we come around here, you're going to see a bunch of the purple bearded irises open. And you're going to see how pretty they look inside. But before they open, they are wrapped up tight. And then they have like a little white covering, sort of like that glove I was talking about. And then the glove is going to peel off and the flower will slowly, slowly come out. And then it'll pop open. And here's a different colored one back here. If I could get back here and show you this one, because it has yellow in the middle. And these still have some that are wrapped tight. Now these, I think, got a little cold last night. But you can see how pretty they are. When they're wrapped up, they almost look like a paintbrush. And here's another different kind of flower. So if you look at Mom's yard or Grandmom's yard, you're going to see that they're probably starting to bloom. I have some other ones over here, and I wanted to show you again how they grow tall and how they kind of use that paper, that little glove covering, and then they come out and then they'll unwind, and then they'll open up. So do you see how tall they can get? Here's one standing really tall like a paintbrush. And they keep getting, and they go up and up and up. So probably by next week, all of these will be opened up. So hopefully you had fun looking at some flowers today with me, and how they grow and how they opened up. And hopefully you didn't get too dizzy walking around the yard with me. But you have a fun day. Look at our YouTube so you can see more and more and more about flowers. And have a great time. Oh, look at my hair flying all over. Enjoy the weather. Get outside. Do some flower investigating. And I'll see you at Zoom. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.